Live. All right, hello everyone. I'm sorry for starting a couple minutes late here. My name is Tom Hogan, and I'm the owner and operator of Steel Highway Webcams. And I am on today with Robert Thompson. You want to say hello to everyone, Robert?
Hello, everyone. It is good to be back.
Yeah. So, we are getting started right off here in Fort Madison. You know, let me think. The last time we were on the air was Wednesday night, and we had Chris Laskowski on here. And didn't actually look at any webcams that night because we were just looking at his amazing videos during that whole program. And so we haven't had a chance to talk about the fact that we have a fiber line run to the Lost Duck Brewery now in Fort Madison, and we have a PTZ cam for people to enjoy. So, I think this is obviously pretty exciting stuff, and I am going to make an attempt here. Oh yeah, the camera's moving, so we do have a camera operator. But, yeah, you know, we want to make sure and point out this, it's a pretty big deal for us. This is the first PTZ cam and first fiber line connection actually anywhere that we've had for a webcam, so it's pretty amazing. So, Robert, we haven't had a chance to debrief before we came on here. You literally got on and we jumped right on, but how much attention have you been paying to the Fort Madison webcam over this last weekend?
Well, I personally don't really, I'm a student approaching finals, don't have that much time for train watching recently, but me and Patrick and Evan, we were down in Fort Madison for a little bit on last Saturday. So we did look at the Fort Madison cam to see kind of what was coming. We were set up at the bridge over the yard for probably about an hour, and there was a parade of westbounds there. So we were keeping an eye on the cam just to see what was going on. But I think it's a really nice cam, especially after the internet connection has been upgraded. I think it really is in a great location there.
You know, looking at, did I share my screen with you? I can't even remember now.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, so, I mean, I think it's pretty neat. We're able to zoom right in and read Fort Madison on the side of the depot. You can read the numbers very clearly on the side of the caboose. I mean, I'm pretty proud of what we've accomplished here, and just having a fantastic host at the Lost Duck that was willing to go through with this upgrade that he had kind of been planning on anyway, but this definitely pushed him over the edge into being able to
How are we looking, Jeremy?
being able to make this decision. And then, you know, this is our first PTZ cam, and I've spent the last 4 days talking through people, getting them acclimated to running the webcam. We have somebody here running it right now. So this is the first of the donated PTZ cams that I have that makes it possible for us to have this. And you know, there's definitely more sites coming that are going to have them, but this has been pretty fantastic. And you know, accordingly, seen a big spike in viewership as we've had the PTZ cams operating for the last what, 4 days now, 5 days, whatever it's been. So, oh, and we don't have a lamp post in the middle of the screen. Yes, thank you, Andrew Elgis, for pointing that out also.
Yeah, very funny.
Yep. The one thing I was going to do here, and I don't know if... Yeah, I think we have a pretty good zooming panning sequence right here of a train coming across the drawbridge. It's actually this one that's just clearing right now. So I'm going to back up a little bit while we're talking, and we're going to give everybody kind of a sequence. Oh yeah, look, so you zoomed in, can see the train coming across the drawbridge. Looks like there's some rail fans down there. They're actually building a new marina. down there along the riverfront, and we are going to be watching this train come toward us. This is going westbound from Illinois into Iowa. And we're just going to watch it pan the whole way down toward the depot. So, anyway, Robert, since I've got you on here and you were talking about your finals, thank you for taking time out of your busy day to join us and co-host here with me today also. Definitely appreciate that.
Yeah, I've got 2 weeks of classes left, so not quite busy yet, but certainly over the next couple weeks it'll definitely be buckling down to get on that schoolwork here. But this is a really nice shot here in Fort Madison, and I've noticed that this is a pretty new thing for BNSF has carried a lot of these Amazon containers recently, and it had been a while since I'd really gone down to Fort Madison, but when I went down there last weekend, and I did see they had and like it looked like a whole train of these Amazon containers were set out there in the yard waiting for a crew or something. But it's a welcome, just something different besides the Swift and the JB Hunt containers. Apparently, Jeff Bezos really likes shipping by rail now on the BNSF.
Well, so yesterday I did this Steel Highway TV program, and we looked at some of the Southwest Railfan cameras that are down in New Mexico and Arizona, and there were lots of these containers down there as well. In addition to on the BNSF and the UP, it seems like that they both have at least some contract for moving the Amazon containers. So yes.
Yeah.
Outbound Phoenix, sure you got a copy.
Oh, and then we have to mention the radio feed too. I mean, this is kind of the Steel Highway signature now, right? Being able to have the camera and having actually a PTZ camera now and having the radio feed to go along with it, and listening to the drawbridge talk to the barges, listening to the trains talk to the drawbridge, and the all the dispatcher traffic, and you can really tell what's going on. It gives you a pretty clear picture because the trains almost always call the drawbridge either when they've changed crews or are getting close to Nyota and coming westbound.
Yeah, well, yeah, they always call the drawbridge to let them know they're coming across there.
Right.
And I wonder, we'll see this in some of our other camera locations up and down the Mississippi River, but we're probably going to have some flooding up here this week. And I know that Fort Madison does occasionally get some pretty high water here, but I know the river's really wide here, so it doesn't go up that much. But we might see some water come up to like the park there on the other side of the tracks where the marina is.
That's right. There's actually, there's potential for flooding at a lot of locations. They're talking about some really high water from the entire upper Mississippi River Valley, I suppose. Everything from, north of St. Louis, basically.
Yeah. I know Dubuque is already starting to do some of that. And I guess someone said that the CN drawbridge in Dubuque is closed, which that doesn't mean that it's closed to trains. That means that it's closed to river traffic. So the bridge is closed in the position where that river traffic, which is prioritized, can't get across. It sounds like Iowa Interstate is coming by my house right now. Oh, look, we've got just a single Jeep.
Yeah? Are we going to have to go back? Which way is he going? Can we go back to West Liberty and find him?
He's going he's coming from South Amanda, so he's probably just going to switch the yard. Probably won't pass the West Liberty cam, but
All right.
that's the little train you hear in the background now. I believe it was 701, just heading back to Iowa City to do some switching. But anyway, yeah, so gonna get some pretty serious flooding in this area. I think maybe Trempealeau, Dubuque, definitely East Dubuque might see some. You might see some maybe in Port Byron on the camera there. That's right up next to the river. Other places, probably a little bit in Muscatine maybe too, but that'll definitely be interesting to see if it gets to the point where any of the railroads in this area need to shut down because of the high water.
Muscatine is the one I was going to bring up because where the camera's located, it's actually outside the flood wall. And so if they were going to sever the train line with the flood wall, you could still see a lot of flooding, but then they would probably sandbag the street out there in front of the hotel.
Yeah, like I know in Davenport, they've erected those like temporary flood, those like sandbag wall barrier things that they have there whenever the water looks like it's going to come up. So Davenport definitely probably going to get some water here, but of course CP is and they're, you know, the IC&E and now I guess CPKC now, they're all used to how to handle running trains through the water in Davenport. They do it unless it gets real bad, and it's certainly a sight to behold to watch a train plow through the water in there.
Yep, I will tell you, I have actually done that, and it's a little scary.
I was going to ask if you ever did that when you worked down there.
Yep, definitely happened. They told us we could go through 3 inches of water, I think, as long as it didn't get up into the traction motors.
Mm-hmm.
So I switched over to Port Byron so we can see just how high the water is getting here too. It's I believe that the bank is lower on the Iowa side, so we're looking from Illinois toward Iowa, and you can even see like how high up that riverboat is compared to where it normally docks. It's sitting very, very high up on the water.
Yeah, I think there's probably like from the tracks to the river is, I don't know, maybe about 5 feet in elevation, 4 feet. I don't exactly recall, but you know, you might see it come up, maybe swamp those trees on the other side of the tracks or something like that. But you have the dam right around the river bend here in LeClaire. You don't tend to see flooding this far up unless it's really serious, but down near the Quad Cities, Rock Island, Bettendorf, Moline, Davenport, you could definitely see some stuff there.
Right. So, well, Robert, do you have any timestamps to share with us?
Well, yeah, so I've got 3 interesting trains at Griffith. All of them, three interesting trains, all of them westbounds, passing the camera, all on the J.
All right, well, let's take a look at that. What's your first timestamp?
The first one is 6:23 in the morning.
Let's see here. 6:40. Oh, we're going to have to back up a little bit further, I think. So, 6:23 in the morning. So, after we run through a couple of timestamps here, we're going to take a little bit of time and look at the company store also, because I've managed to make some progress with that as well. I have some things to show off, I suppose. All right, so we've got an SD70 and another SD70 and another SD70 and a barn. These 2 barns just went east yesterday. And 2 CNW-8s. All right.
Yeah, and I believe someone on Facebook said that this is 338 or 337, excuse me. So we'll see. The kind of general theory is that those units are going for scrap and may get set out at Hawthorne. Unfortunately, CN has been slowly purging their roster of their older GE products here, which unfortunately includes the BC Rail barns, but those will probably get set out at Hawthorne in Chicago if CN remembers to do it, because there was one on 337 yesterday too, and they just forgot to set that one out, and I believe that one made it all the way out to Waterloo, and they need to send it back. So we'll see what they do. But yeah, that might be a funeral train there for those last 4 units.
It might be. It also makes me think about, because I can remember when the CN bought those C40-8s, and I feel like that they didn't have a real long life expectancy on the CN now that they're already getting rid of them. But I cannot remember what year they actually bought them. Did they even get 10 years out of them?
So I believe, so they're not scrapping all of them, because I know that the ones that they have working up on the Iron Range that they modified with the straight air, those seem to be working pretty well, and CN is going to keep using those for the time being, it sounds like. But it seems like they don't really have a purpose for them anywhere other than the Iron Range, so I think they're getting rid of them. I wouldn't know. I think they bought them in like 2012, something like that. I don't know. Maybe someone in the chat can chime in about when exactly CN picked up those units. But it seems like the excess ones that aren't already on the Iron Range are not really getting used anywhere.
Yeah, 2010 and 2012. Because somebody just put a comment in there. Because what I can remember is when the UP went through some of their power purges in the late 2000s, and they decided, well, this CNW power, this has got to go. That was when the CN picked those up, I believe. Let's see here. So it will be interesting to find out if are those C40-8s actually going back to the Iron Range, or are they really getting set out and heading to the Scrapper's Torch? All right, what's your next timestamp?
The next one is 10:39.
10:39, relatively recently.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, we got to go up about another hour. 10:54. I went too far. All right, we'll get this figured out. While I'm looking for this, thank you obviously to the Griffith Historical Society for hosting, and thank you to the Lost Duck in Fort Madison for hosting. And here we have a pair of Death Stars, another EMD product, so a pair of Death Stars and a pair of SD-70s. And, somebody just, all right, Alan Hunt just became a member of the channel. Thank you, Alan Hunt, for supporting the channel by becoming a member. And thank you to everyone, by the way, who is a member and supporting the channel that way. Definitely appreciate it. So, yes, good catch on the Death Star SD-70s there, Robert. Good work.
Mm-hmm.
And while we're rolling this train by, we'll take a quick peek here at the comments. We've got Lodestone up in Neenah, so thank you for being here. Michael Richmond, he's going to be on co-hosting with me on the second program. We're going to do a members-only stream when this one is finished. Santa Fe Man, John Bulio, K-Train is Tanner Kilburn down in Muscatine. Ian trains in Minnesota. Alan Hunt, just mentioned to you, thanks for joining. Falling Up, Barry up in Butler. Andrew, we already talked to him a little bit. AI34, M Helium, Daniel Swanson, HO Scale, NH Yard Limit, our newest moderator on the channel, NH Yard Limit, thanks for joining. Jack B. Quick, Randolph Goodman, who was operating the Fort Madison cam just now. Oh, it was one of the guys that I forget what all their names are now. But one of the guys that learned how to use it over the weekend here. William, I think. And Ryan Winan. I hope I'm pronouncing all these correctly. William Clare. Binky78. I love some of the names that people come up with. Zach Bovitz. Zach is here. He's actually the keeper of the log here at Griffith as well. So thank you, Zach, for doing that work. And Riveted Railfan, Memphis, Luke down in Memphis. Pavado, Clifford McFerrin over in West Liberty. Hello to you. And it is good to see everyone here. Jack Mitchell, I think we got just about everyone covered. Steve Emmons in Oklahoma. Good to see everyone here. Thank you all for tuning in. So, I have a programming note to share as this 337 continues to roll by the Griffith camera. I'm going to open up my calendar quick just to make sure that I have the right dates. But we are going to be, so we've been doing 2 shows a week for the last several weeks here. But we are going to be transitioning over to a Wednesday night only program. And I think, so, all right, next Monday is May 1st. And we are going to do a live trackside at noon. Evan Weber and I are going to be up on the Iron Range, and we're going to do a live chase. Hopefully there's something out there for us to chase. But basically, in the middle of installing webcams and ATCS equipment, we're going to jump out and do a live train chase between noon and 1. And that's going to be next week's trackside episode. So, or next Monday's, I should say. And then the week after that, May 8th, is going to be the final Monday at noon episode. And we're going to switch over to strictly 9 p.m. on Wednesday nights. And that's going to be the schedule basically for the whole summer. So, programming notes, got that out of the way now. Wanted to make sure everybody knows that is what we will be doing. And I am really looking forward to being up in Duluth next weekend, next Sunday and Monday. And anybody that wants to come up there and hang out with us, you are welcome to as well. I know we've got some of our members are from northern Wisconsin and northern Minnesota. Happy to see you. Come on out. All right. What's your third timestamp here, Robert?
The third timestamp was actually right when the show started. Let me
I think I may have found it. 11:57, perhaps?
Yeah. That'd be it.
Maybe 11:58. I don't see the gates coming down yet. There they go. Gates are coming down now. Now, guys, I will tell you, I don't think the Munger Tavern is open on Mondays. That's why we're doing this install on a Monday, because I didn't want to interfere with the operation of their business. But we will definitely find somewhere to get some good food up there in the Duluth area. So who else have we got on here? Lots of comments. Thank you, everyone, for joining in and participating today. And we have a war bonnet. Look at that. A war bonnet and an H2. Is this what we figured out is this unit BNSF train? Not unit train, but solid BNSF interchange train that they build at Kirkyard now?
Yeah, that'd be a good guess for whatever this train is.
I forget what we decided that, I mean, we talked, this was probably a month ago. I'm not going to remember for sure, but I'm pretty sure that this is the interchange train for BNSF that's going to end up heading into downstate Illinois. L595. There we go. Yep. But yes, that's something that with the green BN hoppers on the head end and the solid BNSF power, that seems like a pretty good guess.
Mm-hmm.
Turns into H. Singal at Eola. Got it. Well, when we're done with this roll by, we're going to jump over and take a quick peek at the company store that I've now built on YouTube. I'm actually fairly proud of this, and the reason I bring it up is because the latest issue of Steel Highway was submitted to the printer at approximately, I don't know, 1 a.m. today. What are these loads of, these look like ore jennies. Are those loads of rock in converted ore jennies? I don't know that I've seen that before. Loads of limestone, maybe?
I don't know. Let me wait for the stream to catch up to that. I didn't see that.
There was about 6 of them there in a row. Some were gray, one was black, and one's white.
Oh, I see that. No, those aren't ore jennies. Those are just, I don't know, just ballast cars, I guess.
Yeah, just the newer style of ballast cars.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's fair. I'm so used to seeing these 60, 70-year-old, what do I want to say? Basically like the fallen flag type of tiny little ballast hoppers that you see, or the side dumps even.
Oh yeah, you see them on the CP. They still have ones on the CP that go around that still say Milwaukee Road on them, which is just incredible that those are still around.
They're not for interchange anymore. They can only be like maintenance away type cars.
Yeah, of course, but you see them, especially now. They've been doing so much infrastructure work in preparation for the merger. These old Milwaukee Road cars, and they got some Sioux Line ones, some CP Pac-Man ones, but they're just, to see those old ballast cars on a train, it's just super cool, because I don't know what other thing you'll still see on the rails today that still actually says Milwaukee Road on it.
You will occasionally see grain hoppers that still
grain,
have the big block lettering, and some of them even still have the shield on the side, riveted to the side as well. But just like the Rock Island ones, those are gonna fall out of eligibility for interchange service here very soon as well.
Yeah, I've seen a few of those Milwaukee ones, but yeah, certainly see them while you can.
Alan Hunt says the cars show loading at Gary, Indiana. Not sure where they're going. All right. Well, thank you for the timestamps.
Mm-hmm.
And Zach Bovitz, also, welcome to supporting the channel. Thank you so much. We've got 2 new subscribers to the channel just here in the last 5 minutes since we've been on board. We have BICB at West Liberty, 1226, so we'll go over and grab that. All right, so before we do that, I want to talk about the company store a little bit, because I put a ton of work into this, and I'm actually pretty excited about it. So if you look at this on Griffith, for instance, there's these 4 items here that all show as for sale. There's the annual subscription, the ball cap, the camera strap, and the latest issue of Steel Highway. But if you go to, sorry, that's the wrong way. We go over here to my channel, and then we go to company store right here. And you can actually see, these are things that the store is built on Shopify, but all the items are imported over to all the items are imported over to YouTube now. So there's 4 back issues of the magazine, 5 back issues of the magazine that are all for sale. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 7 is the current issue, which is the one that's at the printer now. It should be in the mail May 1st, going out to everyone who's subscribing. And then the subscription is down here, the ball cap and the camera strap. And if you click on these, it will literally take you directly to the company store where you can order things. So this is a little piece of integration that I'm going to admit I'm pretty proud of, and I think that this is going to, it gives people a really easy way to participate by going directly from YouTube over to Shopify and be able to buy stuff on the store. And the other thing that I'm going to point out is if you subscribe to the magazine, you can also order a hat or a camera strap and get it at a discount, a 20% discount. So if I go to a ball cap here and I add that to the cart, and then we say view my cart, it discounts it from 25 down to 20. So just another neat little feature that I figured out with Shopify as well. So if you order a subscription to the Steel Highway magazine, you can also order a ball cap or a hat and get a discount on it when you purchase them together. I think that's all I had to, but this is kind of a new look for the store as well. So just everyone take a moment, take a look at this, because obviously lots of work went into it, and I'm really, really proud of being able to share this with people. And this is a really important way to support the Steel Highway channel as well, is by, if you join with a membership, obviously I'm going to mail you out some magazines, but if you buy the hats, you buy the camera straps, all this stuff helps to support the channel. So thank you everyone for doing that, and please go over here and check this out. Now, let's see here. We'll go over to West Liberty, because Alan Hunt gave us a timestamp.
Yeah, the train just finished passing West Liberty.
So let's go ahead and go here. And I saw Cliff McFerrin in here before. Thank you to the West Liberty Rock Island Depot. Oh, look at that. I timed that perfectly. And everybody's favorite IAIS power, a couple of GEVOs leading. And this is the daily Blue Island to Council Bluffs train going west through West Liberty. Oh, Cliff McFerrin, he's joined the channel as well. Thank you, Cliff, for joining and supporting the channel. Definitely appreciate it. We have, looks like we have 51 people online watching us right now. Thanks to everyone for joining us and helping us support the channel. Cliff says he was just there, he missed it. Well, this is our westbound Iowa Interstate train, and thank you, Cliff McFerrin, for pointing out this time. There's some riprap cars. We were just talking about ballast. There's some riprap going west for some of those projects out on the west end of the Iowa Interstate. Now, Robert, as you're our reporter on the ground there in Iowa City, do you have any updates on the track project and the schedule changes with the Iowa Interstate?
Not specifically on the work that they've been doing, other to say that there really doesn't seem to be a super consistent schedule and a super consistent time that they're running trains. They have a lot of weird symbols now that they didn't used to have. Like there are like VICRs and stuff like that. But yeah, there's certainly there does typically seem to be like one westbound in the middle of the day to like the early afternoon, which was kind of normal. That's always been a thing. But then in the evening, they might run one eastbound, they might run two eastbounds, they might run another westbound. It just seems like they have really revamped their schedule for running the freights here, and it seems like whatever work is happening or being planned to happen is kind of affecting their daytime operations. But I know that they're going to retie the entire Iowa City yard at some point this summer, which is definitely going to be interesting to see. I think that might stem from there's going to be a new transloading facility opening on the east side of Iowa City sometime, probably sometime around this summer. So they might be anticipating more traffic to be moving through the yard here in the near future. And I think they've already started to run more locals to switch out the yard than they used to. So certainly interesting stuff going on here.
Well, and you observed that local that showed up this morning.
Yeah,
came right through your backyard in the middle of the program.
Yeah, sometimes they come in the middle of the day like now, sometimes they're here in the morning, sometimes they're here at midnight. So it really seems to be just whenever they have a crew to send out of South Amana, they'll send a train out here.
So, we're going to jump over to Grand Mound now. Well, you know what? We're going to go over to Muscatine because I want to see if there's any signs of flooding in Muscatine. Then we'll go to Grand Mound.
Before you go to Grand Mound, I figured we might as well, the Trains of Minnesota guy in the chat, he dropped a timestamp at Stevens Point, so I think we might as well honor that. That's the only timestamp that has so far been dropped in chat. But if anyone else in the chat has an interesting train they want to show off, certainly drop it in the chat and we will go take a look.
So I don't know that I'm not planning on really finding a train here at Muscatine. I just wanted to share with people kind of the layout so they can know what to expect. So if you look down here, straight down below the M on the Monday, you can kind of just barely see where the flood wall is. And then when the flood wall closes, then they will probably sandbag all along this green area to protect the street, potentially. And they'll put up all those Harsco barriers along there. I've seen them do that, and I've also seen them sandbag along this fence on the other side, too. But the CP, the last time anyway, they pulled their tracks right out of the crossings and raised the track like 6 or 7 inches to try to keep operating through the flood. Apparently 261 went by at 12:16. So maybe, since that wasn't so awful long ago, we might be able to find that relatively quickly as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look at that. I think I've already found it. Here is our 261 with a pair of KCS engines. It looked like maybe an ES44 and an SD70. And lots of loads of pipe. I know the train crews just love seeing all those cushion drawbars right on the head end. That just makes everybody happy. Especially when you have a nice, long, heavy train. That just goes great.
Yeah, I'm sure it does, but we're definitely getting a lot more KCS power up here, because, I mean, it's all one railroad now.
Oh, it didn't take them long. That KCS power, I mean, they were kind of cheating a little bit, to begin with, even the last couple of months. But now it's just everywhere, all the time.
Yeah, exactly. This is interesting. These loads of green pipes, I used to see them on the CP all the time in like 2017 and 2018, and They were doing some, I always saw them going south. They were doing, I don't know, some pipeline project. I don't exactly remember, but I always thought those big loads of pipe were pretty neat, but I haven't seen them actually back on the CP until just recently. I guess something else is going on and they're moving all that stuff on the rails again.
I mean, wouldn't it be funny if it was the same loads of pipe that were just getting run back north? But I don't think that's the case.
Yeah.
I think this is something different. Lots of auto racks, though, too.
Doing. Yeah, they are certainly, all those are coming from Kansas City. That's the normal traffic. I don't think they've done it yet, but I know that some people are theorizing that eventually 260 and 261 might get extended all the way down to Shreveport, Louisiana, which is KCS's real big yard where their whole network comes together, and then they run north to Kansas City from there. I don't think that's started happening yet, but we might see that pretty soon, where they, or maybe it'll be a second 260 or 261 with traffic all the way from Louisiana all the way to the Twin Cities.
So this is something that we discussed. I don't remember if I discussed it with you or not, but I remember it being a topic in the group chat about 6 months ago when the CP went through. There's even some KCS auto racks.
Yeah, we've got a mid DPU there.
Yep, and a KCS SD70 mid DPU. Yep. When the CP went through and renumbered all of their trains, they were running 500 series trains, which were these St. Paul, or 400 series or 500 series St. Paul to Kansas City trains that were terminating at Kanoki Yard. And then they renumbered them to the 200 series. And what I pointed out at the time is that with those higher numbers, like the 200s and the 100s, you would expect that to be at some kind of an expedited train, or you would expect it to have something with blocks that would go more than one terminal beyond. So, you know, building blocks for maybe for Heavener, or building blocks for Shreveport, like you were talking about. That's very possible. That is actually exactly what I would expect. Yes.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, good roll by there. Very long 261 right there. We'll see how much longer it takes until they maybe have a second 260 because of all the 261 because of all the increased traffic.
Right. Where was that timestamp again? I'm sorry. I'm trying to scroll back and find it now, and I'm not.
Oh, where? At Muscatine or Stevens Point?
The Stevens Point one, yes.
Stevens Point is at 7:56.
All right. Well, let's pull up Stevens Point. And
thanks to Trains of Minnesota, one of our ever loyal Trackside watchers.
Yes, well, and he's one of our moderators and loggers as well. Yes, that's Ian Asher there. So, let's see here. Okay, why am I getting lost so quickly? That was a 10:56 timestamp.
No, 7:56.
7:56. Okay. 7:56. That will probably make it a whole lot more likely that I am going to find what we are looking for. And thank you to the Muscatine Merrill Hotel for hosting the webcam in downtown Muscatine. And we're definitely looking forward to tracking the progress of the flood as it plays out over this next week. Muscatine will definitely be one of those spots where it'll be very, very evident if there's really any sort of flooding. Oh, we have a pair of CSX engines on the head end. Actually, a YN2 and a YN3? Am I seeing that right?
Yeah. That's what that is. So is this train, I guess I'm not familiar with where this camera is. Is this train north or southbound?
This is a northbound. This is Stevens Point, Wisconsin, so it's north of Wapaka and heading towards Superior.
So is this north or south of Neenah?
North of Neenah, yep. So as you go north, it's Waukesha, and then Neenah, and then Wapaka, Stevens Point, and then up to Superior is the next crew change point.
Okay.
Yep.
And Ian is saying that this is A491 to Wisconsin Rapids.
All right. Yes. Oh, and the train symbols were 474, 475. That's right. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I was trying to think of, was before they renumbered everything, what those older train symbols were that were theoretically... there's some CN ballast cars. We were just talking about company ballast cars. There's some examples of some CN ballast cars. So, anyway, yeah. I saw another... As I was scrolling back through this, I saw another timestamp that I was like, that I thought was interesting, and I made a mental note to go back and look for it, but I don't know if I can find it again now, because I think I have, because quite frankly, I don't know if I can really turn down. This is a container train, and
yeah, I saw that one. It comes in and then it slows down for the crew change there.
Right. So I don't know if we'll watch the whole thing, but we'll definitely watch some of it anyway. But I do enjoy a good container train. Yes, Wisconsin Rapids. It turns on the Hiawatha sub at Junction City, which is about 10 miles or so north of this location. Yeah, good spot here to watch. A lot of trains. Yep, I agree. All right, so what have we got on our container train? We have got some CNGE power, 2 of them. And we have got 40-foot shipping containers this time. SM Line. I am not familiar with SM Line. I don't know that I've seen these containers before. But there's quite a few of them on the head end of this train.
Yeah, I don't believe I've ever seen those either. I've never seen a stack train up on the CN, so presumably it's different containers. But maybe if someone in the chat could maybe chime in about what exactly those are.
Yeah, I mean, there's some kind of shipping containers, clearly, but we've rolled a fair number of container trains by here, like the China shipping, the Triton, the OCCL. We've seen those before. Tex. Those are pretty common. Those ones on the head end, it makes me wonder if the CN's got some kind of a new contract, or if maybe that's a new ocean carrier that we haven't seen before. There's a Costco shipping container. That one's kind of unique as well.
313 south, it's restricting at point O.
And more of the China shipping containers coming. But yeah, I do find these interesting. I really enjoy watching these containers. Yes, everything at Walmart. That's right. All coming from China in shipping containers. There's more truth to that than anyone might like to admit. All right, after this, we're going to jump over to Grand Mound. Falling Up 90 gave us a timestamp for 5:36 at Grand Mound.
After that, an interesting 260 at Bellevue that actually, I saw a picture of it up in Minnesota. This train actually has a caboose on the rear, or shoving platform, I guess. Not really a caboose anymore, but you know what I mean. So, which you certainly don't see down here very often. So we could maybe jump up to Bellevue before we're done here.
Certainly. Lodestone had a question, what exact containers? They were SM Line containers. They were on the head end of this southbound train that we saw. So, with the train slowing down for the crew change, we are going to jump over now to Grand Mound. Grand Mound. Oh, and thank you to our private host, Paul, up there in Stevens Point. Definitely appreciate that he is willing to have a camera there on his property for us to enjoy. 5:36 a.m. I doubt it was the loaded coal train that they were trying to get our attention for, but this is 6:12 and kind of a beautiful sunrise here at Grand Mound this morning as well. So let's go back just a little bit further. 5:35, all right. It looks like we're going to have a westbound this time. I can see the gates going down 1 block away. And I believe that we have a fairly slow-moving westbound coming up. What in the world are we looking at here? Oh, is this maintenance away equipment?
Might be.
That is quite the apparatus that they have. You know, you want to talk about a shoving platform. That guy's literally standing on the edge of a container.
Yeah, quite exposed out there. On UP certainly has some interesting maintenance equipment that they like to run around. I don't know if I have ever seen that thing before.
I think that is a ballast machine, maybe even an undercutter, but I couldn't say for sure.
Well, and then you've got another one behind it. What's this following behind? Oh, and then, oh, wow!
Yeah. And then the eastbound cruises by.
Wow, I can't imagine being that poor soul over there, exposed on the head end of that little shipping container while you've got a hot shot blasting by at, I don't know, what is this, 50 miles an hour, 60 miles an hour?
Probably 45 or 50, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Track work all week here at Grand Mound. So yes, one of the things that I was going to point out, I made a trip down to the Quad Cities and back a couple weeks ago now, and the Loudon siding, which is about 15 miles west of here, the Loudon siding was full of ballast hoppers. And they had a tie and track crew, a tie and surfacing crew, I believe, that were working near the Kalmus crossovers, which is actually the next town to the west of this. So it's definitely been something where the UP has been doing work on the Clinton sub, and it looks like they've got more work to do. It looks like they're taking on a fairly significant tie and ballast project on the Clinton sub between Cedar Rapids and DeWitt this summer. Or this spring. I guess we're still considering this spring, aren't we?
Yeah. But yeah, probably will be going on for quite a while.
Yep. Alright, well, the train's gone, the track equipment's gone. But we will do one more. What was the last roll by that you... Oh, it was Bellevue, that's right.
Yeah, well, we've got either that one or Bellevue, and maybe after, if we've got enough time, Amtrak just got to Mount Pleasant, so maybe we could hop over there for our outro there.
Maybe. We'll find Bellevue. We've got 4 minutes left, and we have another program. We're going to follow this up with a members-only program, which the 3 people that had just joined are members and can actually jump right in with us. What's the timestamp at Bellevue?
It's the person in the chat said 1:52 in the morning. Let's see who said that. Ron says 1:52 in the morning at Bellevue.
All right. We are almost there.
And this is a caboose that has a, I don't know, maybe you could just, well, watch the engines roll by, maybe just skip a little bit towards the end to...
Yeah, we'll get the head end power, and then we'll look for the shoving platform on the rear, certainly.
Yeah, and then, oh, well, here comes The westbound coming by my place again, so
All right.
the one we saw at West Liberty half hour ago. So if you can hear the train on my end of the microphone, here it comes.
It looked like that this 260 had a fairly clean ACU second out. So, all right. So this is a 260. Lots of Canadian grain hoppers there on the head end. Nothing too terribly exciting about this, but we will skip ahead.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that is a real clean ACU right there.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got examples of kind of all three of CP's
Primary power, yeah.
And a very nice DME hopper right there. Those are pretty hard to come by now.
Yeah, those black DM&E hoppers.
Or no, the
grain hoppers.
One, the gold one, yeah, the grain hoppers there, the gold ones that still actually say DME on it. Those are not too common anymore.
Yep. Hello, Larry Osborne. Ron, thanks for joining in.
And I know you probably remember this, but growing up in Davenport, I used to, when I was real young, I just, my dad, he had an office that was kind of near Nahant. It was there along the highway, along the other side of the interstate. So if I ever went and visited him at work, my mom would, maybe as a treat, we'd drive by the train yard there at Nahant. And I always remember as a kid down by the Nahant Roundhouse, there were always two, I'm sure you remember this, there were always two Sioux Line cabooses there at the Nahant Roundhouse for many years. I remember that very well, seeing those cabooses there.
Yep, I paused this. This is our shoving platform caboose with all the windows welded over.
Yeah. At least the ones that used to be in Nahant, those ones were pretty pristine condition there.
They were, and I think they've been cut up now too.
Yeah, I don't know whatever happened to them, but yeah.
All right, well, there goes the shoving platform, and it is 1 o'clock, so we're going to call this a program. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you, Robert, for being on co-hosting with me. Definitely appreciate it.
Of course.
And for all the members, we're going to do our first ever members-only program. We're going to get on that and just give me a couple minutes here to get reorganized and resituated. And we will be right back with that a little bit later. So, thank you, everyone, and we are signing off.